Did you enjoy your coffee this morning or those chocolates you got for Valentine's Day? These small pleasures may be more guilty than you think, as they're one of the reasons why an area equivalent to the size of a football field is deforested every 2 seconds. Cocoa, coffee and soy are some of the products that cause 90% of the world's deforestation, and the European Union is one of the main culprits.
The EU is essentially the second largest importer of deforestation in the world, second only to China, which has a much larger population.
To address this and fight climate change and biodiversity loss, the European Commission has a new regulation that aims to restrict products linked to deforestation.
And the science tells us that protecting the world's remaining forests is one of the easiest, cheapest and most efficient ways to do that. And so that's what this new EU law is really all about, the EU taking responsibility for its impacts on forests all around the world.
But will it make a real difference? And does it threaten trade? Let's take a look at what's in the law and what the biggest concerns are. The EU's established a list of products that are highly associated with deforestation. That's cocoa, coffee, rubber, palm oil, soy, beef and wood. Importers and exporters trading with the EU will have to prove these goods are not from newly deforested areas or cause forest degradation. If they don't, they could face significant fines, see their products or revenues confiscated, and in the most serious cases, have their products banned from the EU market.
Ça va consister principalement à mettre en place une traçabilité, donc à enregistrer des producteurs, à faire des cartographies, à enregistrer des points GPS.
Big firms have until December 2024 to apply the new rules, and small and medium-sized companies have until June 2025. The rules will also apply to derived products like leather, cosmetics and chocolate. In the future, new products could join the list, and the law could also be extended to other areas such as grasslands. EU member states will carry out the checks.
The impact which this law could have will really come down to how EU countries enforce it, implement it, which will really then determine how seriously the private sector takes it.
The extent of the investigation and the obligations companies will face will depend on how producing countries rank into deforestation risk categories. If products come from a low-risk area, checks will be simpler. But if they're from a high-risk area, checks will be more strict. But this ambitious law doesn't come without concerns. Some countries worry the regulation's impact will be disproportionate. And ministers from nations like Indonesia and Malaysia, the biggest palm oil producers, have expressed concerns.
Kita menuntut supaya European Union ini akan memberi secara bertulis kepada kita bahawa Malaysia tidak akan dijadikan sebuah negara yang berisiko tinggi dalam konteks EUDR itu sendiri.
Others are concerned that the rules will just move deforestation to less regulated areas, and that it won't stop countries from selling products linked to deforestation to other parts of the world. For Michael Rice, it's still an open question, but he thinks it wouldn't make sense.
For industry to seriously consider duplicating their existing supply chains simply to avoid embedding sustainability practices in their operations doesn't make sense from a commercial perspective. It doesn't make sense in terms of the kind of investment because we see that other major markets are moving in the same direction in any case.
Some companies also say they haven't had enough time to prepare and warn supply chains could be disrupted.
And there's an obvious resistance from commercial interests to additional costs This law has been a long time in the making, and industry has known it has been coming for years. And if there are product shortages or market disruptions, it's more likely to be because companies have sat on their hands for too long and failed to prepare.
Businesses like Etikab, who are already working with sustainable producers, welcome the law, but say there are still some open questions.
C'est un travail qui suppose l'intervention de personnes spécialisées, d'informaticiens, de techniciens qui vont aller sur le terrain faire les opérations de relevé. Qui va payer? Est-ce que ça va être la filière? Est-ce que ça va être les importateurs? Évidemment, la crainte, c'est que finalement, ça retombe à la charge des producteurs.
This could add to the other challenges small producers are already facing due to COVID-19, climate change, and the global financial crisis.
Comment peut-on demander à une filière aujourd'hui de producteurs en situation de pauvreté de faire face à ce défi si on ne garantit pas un prix qui permet aux producteurs de vivre dignement de leur travail?
Despite worries, these rules could be a milestone step, not only toward creating more sustainable products, but also more opportunities for small farmers and businesses, as consumers are more aware of the environmental impact of the products they buy.
These industries are dominated by a handful of incredibly big, powerful multinationals, and if they take sustainability seriously and are really serious about achieving deforestation-free supply chains, then this new EU law could be a real game changer. It could really spark an important and necessary change in our global agriculture and food systems.
The EU's deforestation regulation will be reviewed in June 2028, after 5 years of entering into force. The evaluation will look at its effectiveness and impact on smallholders and local communities. With the new rules, the EU hopes to reduce its carbon footprint by 31.9 million metric tonnes per year and have a positive impact on 71.92 thousand hectares of forest per year, more than the island of La Palma and the Canary Islands.